I'm considered a CODA, which stands for Child of Deaf Adult. So I'm the only child of two deaf parents. They were both born deaf. They went to the School for the Deaf in Berkeley, and they didn't meet there, but they both went there, and then they met through friends. And so growing up, I was an only child, so it's very, very quiet. But it was all that I ever knew, so it didn't seem strange until maybe, when you get older and you realize things. So there's a lot of growing up I had to do ahead of time. I had to make like doctor's appointments and important phone calls like at a very young age. I remember helping my parents buy a house at 7 years old. The realtor is having me sign words I probably couldn't even spell. Just having to help them with everything and worry about them, and they were still my parents, but still it's just a different relationship. When I was little, I was really shy and wanted to hang on to my mom's leg. Not till I guess probably middle school, high school is when I was embarrassed. I didn't want when people saw me signing to them, I didn't want them to know that I was, think that I was deaf. Oh my God, I'm not deaf. So I would start talking so that they wouldn't think I was also deaf. I'm a teacher at a middle school, and I teach 6th grade math and science, and also sign language. This is my first year teaching sign language, so I'm excited about that. And I've been a teacher for 17 years, elementary school, now middle school. So I always kind of thought it would be cool to teach sign language, but I didn't have the right teaching credential to go teach at a high school or something. And I never wanted to be an interpreter because I felt like I did that forever, my whole life. So I didn't want to do any of that. But this situation came up, and last year the administrators sent out an email. Does anybody have a special talent? Because we want to get some more interesting electives for the 7th and 8th graders. So I'm like, well, I know sign language. Beginning of this month, we performed our song, Man in the Mirror, for the performance here for the drama class and the choir class and then our class. So they did a great job. This group that I have are very creative and artistic, so we did so much more this semester than the last semester. This school is multiracial. There's a lot of kids from different backgrounds and different things going on in their lives, and they have pretty rough situations. The stereotypes that I talk about with my students are that the old saying, deaf and dumb. So all deaf people are dumb, or they can't work, they can't drive. Things get brought up about different races, and it's harder for black people, or we have some homosexuals in our classroom, and there's all these things just come up that you don't even realize that affect these kids, and they totally relate to just having a disability. And I think it's really given them more compassion towards other people. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, they can't hear birds. All the things we take for granted. Little teeny things, when walking down the street and you hear other people's conversations and you're learning from them, oh, did you hear about, or the TV's on in the other room and you hear the news. They're hearing none of that. They're closed off to so much of the world. What I'm trying to teach the kids is that the only thing different about them is that they cannot hear. That's the only thing different. And they communicate in a different way.